Thank you so much, Prime Minister, and we all thank you for your wonderful hospitality. If I could now call to the stage our distinguished visitor, the President of Finland, Mr. Sauli Niinisto.
President of Iceland, Olafur Grímsson, Madam Dorit Musayev, ladies and gentlemen, we like to say that the future of the Arctic is in our hands, for good and bad. It means we have new opportunities in the north. They are mainly economic, things like new resources, faster transport routes, and so on. But it also means we face serious risks. They are mainly, but not only, environmental. I believe the great task that lies ahead of us is to combine these two factors, opportunities and risks, in a way that is sustainable. Sustainable for us, the peoples of the region, and for whole human mankind. Fortunately, we still have the time to strike the right balance. We probably have made some mistakes already, but we still have the possibility of avoiding further, perhaps bigger mistakes. And we have those opportunities left. While discussing the Arctic, special attention should be given to indigenous peoples that have populated the region for thousands of years. They do not only live here, they are part of it. They must have the right to take part in decisions that concern them. The United Nations member states reaffirmed their support for this core principle at the World Conference on Indigenous Peoples in September. Nature, environment, and climate should always be our starting points, as we ourselves can't exist without suitable conditions. We know that climate change is advancing in the Arctic more rapidly than anywhere else. The rising temperature and the melting ice are directly affecting the 4 million people who live in the Arctic and call it their home. The effects stretch all the way around the globe. What happens in the Arctic does not stay in the Arctic. Of course, tackling the climate change is not only a matter for the Arctic region. It is a global challenge that requires serious effort from all countries. And there we need a global response, which we hope to achieve next year at the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Paris. If we succeed, it will be especially important in the Arctic. Everyone in this room is aware of the special vulnerability of the Arctic nature. It can't sustain and recover from damage, as well as some other neighborhoods of our globe. To put it simple, same mistake, but worse consequences. One should never forget this. Those of us who use Arctic resources and benefit from the region are mainly responsible for managing our environmental risks in the north. How can we then make sure that we do things in a sustainable way? I have no easy solution, but I offer a number of principles that should help us. First, high-quality research is a must in the Arctic. Science is a cornerstone. We really have to know what we are doing, what we can do, and what we cannot do. So we have to research, analyze, and monitor extra carefully in the north. Second, not just any technology suits the Arctic area. We need exactly those technological solutions that enable us to tap the potential while avoiding risks. In a word, we need clean tech which is designed also for these conditions. Third, one can't operate safely in the north without proper Arctic know-how. It is a combination of scientific research, practical experience, and right technology. It should not come as a surprise when I say that Finland actually has all these three in top shape: research, clean tech, and know-how. And if you don't believe me, you have a chance to learn more about our approach during our country session in this afternoon. There will be no successful Arctic policies or practices without Arctic cooperation. After the twilight years of the Cold War, we saw a new kind of international cooperation emerging in the Arctic. On a Finnish initiative, the first meeting between ministers of the Arctic countries was held in Rovaniemi in 1991. It was a historic meeting, establishing the idea of the 8 Arctic states. The meeting produced the Arctic Environmental Protection Strategy and launched the Rovaniemi process, which then led to the establishment of the Arctic Council. In 2 years' time, the Arctic Council will celebrate its 20th anniversary. During those years, a lot of work has been done to strengthen the Council. Its evolution as an international forum has been impressive. The institutional role of the Council has grown. I believe its role should continue to grow step by step from a decisive shaping forum towards becoming a decision-making organization. All of us have recently witnessed dramatic developments in Ukraine. Russia's actions have damaged international security and cooperation, especially in Europe. However, I'm convinced that we should keep the North and the Arctic Council on a road towards more, not less, cooperation. The Arctic Council is the only circumpolar organization that deals with the specific problems of this region. Should its work get paralyzed, everybody would lose. We do not want that. Dear friends, I started by saying that the future of the Arctic is in our hands. I would like to conclude by rearranging the order of the words in it. Our future might be in the hands of the Arctic. Therefore, we must work with it. We must take care of it. Then it can work with us and take care of us as well. Thank you.